Hello everyone, this is Lolly. I'm back with this project I want to do. Now, I bought these, they were in one of my thrift store hauls, and I got a few of these at 99 cents each. I think I got 3 of them. So you can see what kind of like vinyl material they are. They're grocery sacks or, reusable sacks. But I wanted to try and do practice with these to make books, book covers, journal holders, stuff like that. And this is a smaller size than usual. Usually when you they're about this big or so, 12 inches or so wide. So, but I liked some of the things it said. Creativity is maximized. Friends are more important than money. So I really liked it. So this is, what I did was I took a seam ripper and I just carefully took all of the parts apart. And this is what I have now. That's one of the sides. And there's the other side. It's got a little stain on it there, but that's okay. And then this was the side and the bottom that went like this. So there's that. And then this was the edging all around, holding it together, like right here, that. So here's my thinking. Let me come up here a little bit. So I'm looking at this, and I thought, I like this snap. It's got the snap already in there, and I thought I'm going to keep that in there. So what I thought I would do, I have these Carpe Diem notebooks, inserts. They're for inserts for Traveler's Notebook, and they were on clearance at Hobby Lobby for $7.99. Actually, they were cheaper than that, I think. Wow, this has been opened and taped over, so it's kind of hard to get into here. So there's 2 of them in here, and I could put 2 in here, but I think I just want to make this for 1. Oh, I love that it's graph paper. So here's what I was thinking. I love that it's got a snap and a handle. I could use this as a pocket. Like right here. Stitch this in place right here, here, here. And then this will be a pocket to hold that. And then I would do the same to this one, put the pocket on, and then I would just take these 2 and sew them together. This had to be cut off, and then just sew these 2 together at the bottom. So what I would end up having would be, all this excess would be cut off. So it would be something like this with the 2 pockets here, and a pocket here for this side to flip in, and then it would close and snap. That's my thinking. So I'm going to have to think about this and get some measurements in, but in the meantime I will go ahead and stitch this here and this here like this to make pockets. Then I'll have to deal with this and getting those 2 joined together. Okay, so I glued these pockets on here with the Fabri-Tac, and all I did was glue top, outside edge, and bottom, top, outside edge, and bottom, so that their pockets are open here to put the journal in. But now I'm looking at how much of this I want to cut off. So I'm leaving myself some room. I'm not going to shove it in there. And okay. So I'm seeing that I probably want this thing to end right about here, and that's where it's going to fold. So I'm going to add 1/4 of an inch to my, if I can get that out of there, to my measurement. And that way I can overlap both of these by 1/2 inch. So I'm going to put this here and then cut that off. And do the same thing with this one. I'll make this the same length. I'm using the grid here. Sorry, I got this in my mouth. I'm using the grid so that I know I can make sure this is squared off. Before I cut that, I'm going to double check and make sure it's the same length. It is. And this is a steel edge right there on that Tim Holtz ruler. Okay, so now I'm going to overlap. I made this a 1/4 inch longer than I wanted and this a 1/4 inch, so I can overlap them by 1/2 inch, I think, if I did that right. No, maybe just a 1/4 inch. That's right. I can only overlap a 1/4 inch, but that's going to work for me too. So what I'm going to do is use some Fabri-Tac as soon as I find it. Let me think this thing through again because I want it to fold there. No, it is 1/2 inch. That's right. That's a 1/2 inch. That's where I want it. So I'm going to glue, and I'm going to fold right in the middle of this. This is perfect. I'm going to glue this to hold it in place so it doesn't move around while I sew it, and then I'm going to zigzag stitch over that using some red thread. Okay, and that's going to go the 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. I'm just lightly smoothing it out. I'm going to zigzag that right there and zigzag this seam right here. Okay. And then once I do that, I'm going to take this that I'll probably stitch along here too with black right here. And then once I've got this done, I'm going to take this edging that was originally on the bag and I'm going to sew it right back on there across here and across there. Okay, wish me luck. Okay, so I did it. I stitched on either side of that overlap, and you can see you really can't tell that much from the back. I sewed straight with the black thread here. I'm still cutting off extras. I've noticed that although Fabri-Tac works really well on many surfaces, this is kind of a strange material here, and it doesn't always hold really well. So I did a straight black edge there to hold the pocket in, and you can see the thread right there. And then I sewed this on, which was one of these bindings that was across here. So what I have left is I have these two that I cut off. Oops, no. There's this left over from the bottom. That's this part. And there's two of these left over that I cut off of either side here. So the bottom like this. That's all. I have two of those. I have one strip of this and was able to do all this with one of the other strips. So I'm just going to see if I can score across the middle here. I'm not sure how helpful that's going to be, but I'm just going to line that up right in the middle and see if that helps me get a good fold there. Not sure, because like I said, this material, it's not paper, but it does help a little bit. There we go. So I have, let's use this one. One thing I can do would be to make these pockets a little shorter, you know, not quite so wide. Then it would be easier to get these in here. So now it's snapped shut. There's the handle. And again, I could put this over my shoulder, but like I said, if I don't like the length of that handle, I could always clip it maybe here and here, you know, overlap it and shorten it, and maybe even put a cute button. You know, I could do it like right here and put a button there or something, you know, just to make it short if I wanted. But right now I'm going to leave it this length and see how it works out for me. So there that is. Now here's another option. Maybe if I don't want to do that, I could put two, one in the left and one in the right, because these work just fine. So there that is. That works really well. Oh my goodness, I'm really thrilled with that. I think that that was holding two notebooks is a really great idea. I just love this bag that it says all this about creativity and your outlook in life and friends. What a fun idea. I'm glad that I left the snap in place. I do have snaps that I could use, but I just like this so much that it already came with a snap. Most grocery bags don't. So there was the original. And, you know, there's still some things that these could be done. These could make small notebooks themselves, maybe some more passport covers. I think it might be a little small for that. But, you know, by piecing together what we call, you know, Frankencraft here, we could piece these together and maybe make something out of them. Because look at that, overlap that, and I've got probably another whole journal this way if we piece these two together. So I'm just thinking, but you know, don't waste not, want not, right? I could even put a black stripe across the middle if I wanted to. So much to do, but I think right now, for sure, I'm going to keep those pieces and this, and then put them in a little stash there of my scraps, and who knows what kind of project I can make with this. Thank you for watching. I definitely want to use some of my bigger bags that I had bought. I got these because I thought that would be great for you know, a trial run. You know, I always say it's my prototype. So, but I think for the bigger bags, I might actually want to make a book cover with them. I don't know. There's so many possibilities. So thank you for watching. This has been very fun. Make sure you look down below. I'm going to give you a link to the Upcycled Thrifting group in Facebook. If you like taking materials and turning them into something else as well, you'd probably enjoy that group.